Welcome, class. This next section we're going to spend a few days on. We're 5.3a. We are going to study how credit and debit cards are different. Before we do that, I want to just reiterate something that I said at the beginning of this quarter about credit. When your interest rates go up, you end up paying more on the money that you don't pay back at the end of each month. There are ways to avoid paying interest or paying lower interest by build credit steps, the 6 easy steps to build credit that were behind me. Start with a secured credit card. Only charge what you can pay in full. Pay it on time. That means pay it in full on time at the end of every pay period. Most of the time it's monthly. Avoid paying for multiple cards. Don't get multiple cards. One card's all you need. And check your progress. Make sure you're paying it on time, that you're not charged any late fees. If there's a fee on there that you disagree with, you need to write a letter and call that credit institution. Also, check your credit card history. Onward, in section 5.3a, here are our learning targets. Enumerate the difference between debit and credit cards. Identify at least 3 ways a young adult can gain access to credit cards even before they're 21. Explain why a secured credit card is an excellent way to build credit. Read a credit card monthly statement. Discussion questions for you to respond to here. Do you think it's a good idea for high school students to have credit cards? Please tell us why. What about college students, adults? Please explain why you feel this way. When you're done, meet me on the next page. Credit versus debit. Because they are both rectangular plastic cards used for purchases, people sometimes confuse credit cards with debit cards. In reality, their functions vary differently. Watch the video to learn more. Follow your teacher's directions and answer this Ed puzzle. So you're going to click here. It's going to open up the Ed puzzle. W-A watch Ed puzzle. You can answer these questions. What happens when you use a debit card? The key difference between a debit card and a credit card is, again, Ed puzzle shuffles it, so these might not be in the same order. You can just type your A, B, C answers here on these lines for us. And debit cards work exactly the same way as credit cards. Then, the next thing we're going to do, quick intro to credit. You'll likely have a debit card before you get a credit card, particularly because there are age and or income restrictions on credit card access. Scroll to the final section of this infographic subtitled, How Can Young People Get a Credit Card? So I'm going to open this up, scroll down to the bottom, and answer these questions. Opened up the infographic, and I'm going to scroll down to how young people can get a credit card. Oh, it's probably good to look at all this information, but you're going to scroll down the bottom. So how can young people get a card? Having a credit card is a fast way to build your good credit score. Yet, it's almost impossible to get a card without existing credit history. Here are some ways to get around that. Get a cosigner. For those people age 18 to 21, their parents can be a cosigner, so you can open up a credit card. Chip away at student loans. Pay off the interest on an unsubsidized student loan while you are in school can also bump up your credit score. Talk to Ms. Hoffman about that. Get a secured credit card. Most providers offer secured credit cards and cash deposits put up as collateral in exchange. Tag onto another credit card. Ask to be added on or as an authorized user on your parent's card. Ultimately, creating good credit habits early on could provide you on a winning track to get what you want most out of life. But here's a big warning. But it's written small. Why is it written so small? There we go. But be careful. While you're not liable for primary account holders' debt, like when you're put on someone else's card, their credit activity, good or bad, could show up on your credit report. It may affect your score. Things to think about. Back to our interactive notebook. If you're trying to gain access to a credit card before turning 21, which of the suggestions on the previous sheet support that decision? Which suggestions do not rely on the support of your parents? On the infographic, again, this one, it suggests making small payments on your loans even before they are due. Yet they won't automatically get on your credit card. They won't automatically get you a credit card. What would be the benefit of making these payments early? Stuff to think about.